Okay, so this is part one of the pendulum notes that you're going to be taking today. We're going to take a look at the vocabulary first. So by definition, a pendulum is a mass or weight that is attached to an arm. We're going to be labeling this down below the vocab in a couple minutes, so for now just fill them in. The arm is attached to a pivot, which is the point that the pendulum swings from. The amplitude is what we call the angle of the pendulum starting point. The frequency of the swing is how many times the pendulum completes one cycle in any given time. And a cycle is just it swinging back and forth. So the cycle is one full swing back and forth of the bob mass. The amount of time it takes for the bob mass to travel through one complete cycle is called the period. And the length of the pendulum is measured from the pivot point to the middle of the bob. So let's take a look at the diagrams a little bit lower. Okay, so here you have a good description of or a good diagram of the actual pendulum itself. So we have the pivot point. For us, it's going to be attached at a bar, and you'll see that in the second video. The arm is this longer string. And then whatever weight you put on the bottom is called the bob or the bob mass. This angle that we swing the bob mass from, that's what we call the amplitude. We measure the amplitude using a protractor. So a couple of things that you need to keep in mind with our protractor. And you'll see this on the pendulum setup video when you watch that one. So to start, your pendulum looks similar to this image where the string is right in the center and should be lined up with 90 degrees. You'll pull the bob mass back so that the string aligns with whatever angle you're looking for. You're using these outer set of numbers, so not the inner numbers, but the outer numbers. So if I pulled it to right here, I'd be at 70 degrees, but I'd be 20 degrees away from my center point. So really I'm pulling it 20 degrees. If I pulled it here, I'd be at 40 degrees, but really I'm 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees from my center point, so I'm pulling it 50 degrees. Okay, we'll talk more about that when we get to our pendulum observations tomorrow. Okay, so once your notes are completely filled in, and you can go back and rewind this video or click on the notes themselves to look at them more closely. Once these are filled in, then you want to watch the pendulum setup video.